Yeah, we do that. Then we go back. You know what's going to be nice going.
Oh, Brandi's back.
So right there. All right.
Good morning. This is the Thursday, January 15th, 2026 meeting of the Clark County Commission. Will you join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. I'm Tom Rawl, Chair of the Commission this year, and I'd like to introduce my left, Andy Hunthausen, long-term member of the Commission, and to his left, Grande, who is our recording secretary today. To my right is Candace Payne, Commissioner, and two members of the legal staff of the County Attorney's Office, Nico Hash and TJ Murphy, and then Roger Baltz, our Chief Administrative Officer. There is an agenda on the other side of the bar, and an opportunity to sign in and leave your address and contact information for a member of the public that would like to do so. We have some consent action items, and I would like to move the consent action item 2A down to an regular action item, and have a little discussion about that. No objection, we'll just make that move, and Mr. Baltz, if you would present the other two items to us on the consent action.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Item 2B is a letter of support for a grant application to the Montana Tourism Development Grant Program. MTDGP is the acronym for it, for the Lincoln community. Staff recommends approval of that letter of support. Item 2C is public meeting minutes for December 23 and 25, 2025, and January 1, 6, and 8, 2026. And staff recommends approval of that item as well, Commissioners. Thank you very much.
All right, are there any questions on items 2B and C on the consent action item? All right. Is there any public comment on those two items? Any public comment? There being none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve consent action items 2B and C as presented by Mr. Baltz.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Any discussion on those two items?
I just want to make sure that everyone understands the letter of support is a letter of support. We're not actually giving them money for this. We're just saying we approve of their application.
All right. Any further discussion? And we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving consent action items 2B and 2C, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to just talk a little bit about consent action item 2A. Mr. Baltz, if you would go into that, I see Jenny is here. I'd just like to make sure it's really well known what we're trying to do to make it a very apparent and open to the public.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Absolutely, Commissioners. So this involves 6 different motor graders. They're listed out on Exhibit A for you to look at today, Commissioners. We have a program whereby we replace equipment on a regular basis, and we have a process. I'll let Ms. Chambers, speak to that, but the first step in that process is that we declare the equipment to be surplus, which is the reason for the resolution that's before you today to take that step. But having said that, I think Ms. Chambers is our expert on this. Thank you.
Yes, and I apologize for kind of a quick term, but it's been bothering me that I should just think the public needs to know what the process we're going through on a fairly substantial purchase.
Certainly, Chairman, Commissioners, for the record, my name is Jenny Chambers, Lewis Park County Public Works and Planning Department Director. And I am more than happy to highlight the good work for my staff and Dustin Knoll at the shop as far as how we go about replacement of the 6th graders, which is a major asset for the county and definitely important for the operations of the road department. So we can certainly chat about that and talk and answer any questions you guys may have. So 6 mortar graders, our budget authority in fiscal year 26 was $2,595 and excuse me, let me start over. It's 2 million. That's why it's a big number. $2,595,340. That was the budget authority that we had approved. It was saved in our capital improvement plan. We were saving for this replacement of fiscal year 26 for the last 5 to 6 years. So we forecast out when would we have to replace these graders, not necessarily from a, no longer operational or the ability to use them, but just from efficiencies on working with our vendors and having a warranty on maintenance and oil changes and things like that with our vendors on these replacement cycles. So the graders we had were T&E, tractor and equipment or CAT graders. They were had an extended warranty, comprehensive extended warranty through CAT for the last 5 years. It saves us on maintenance costs, overall operations. You kind of use new technology. In addition, when we procured that 5 years ago, it had a guaranteed buyback based on the hours of service of that equipment that would be available for them when they resell it down the road to somebody else. So we not only benefited from the warranty of the cost of the initial purchase, but also had a guaranteed buyback from CAT because they were servicing the equipment that we have and that we've been using. So this year was up for fiscal year 26. We evaluated the specifications of what we would need for the graders within the road department. Dustin did that independently with working with the road department equipment operators. What do we need? What kind of equipment do we like? What technology do you want in the graders? Put those specifications together and we evaluated whether we go out to bid for those new graders or whether we evaluate what's called competitive procurement through a cooperative purchasing arrangements with other government entities that use either T&E, tractor and equipment, or John Deere. So we put the specifications together. We sent it out through the 2 vendors, through the cooperative purchasing arrangement, and asked them what they could provide back for quotes on what would be available for the services. So they then evaluated those proposals, and we selected T&E and CAT equipment to do the purchase order for those graders moving forward. And there's 6 of them in total, but I wanted to give you one example. So one grader was purchase price was $783,663. They provided a source well, which is the cooperative purchasing agent discount of over $235,000. They provided an additional T&E, additional unit discount of over $121,000. Our net balance due to CAT for that one grader was $427,000. So that would be our purchase price. When they get that grader delivered, we'll pay $427,000, and then they'll end up turning around and give us a trade-in value for the grader they're picking up based upon that guaranteed buyback provision of over $280,000. So the net balance of what that grader purchased was $147,000. And that's just one example because each of the graders, of course, have different hours on them, different use, and a different buyback based upon those requirements. So in summary, by going this approach, saving through the capital improvement plan, we are have the money available through the budget and the budget authority. Then we evaluate looking at the best options out there for purchasing using the mechanisms we have in place, whether that's bidding, whether it's used procurement through the cooperative purchasing, and make sure that the specifications or requirements meet the cost and try to get the lowest cost possible for the taxpayers within the county. And then we make the arrangement and get those purchased. So,
Right. Mr. Chair, if I could just add just a little bit to what you've already heard from Virginia Chambers. Just as a reminder, when we purchase goods, equipment, or services, we're guided by our purchasing policy. So actually, to use the correct title, it's our procurement policy. That policy we updated and put into place several years ago. A lot of, actually several years of work went into that. And it is always approved by the county commissioners, and we update it on a regular basis. That determines how we go about procurement processes. And that's been approved by the county commissioners, specifically this issue of cooperative purchasing, which can bring a lot of benefits and a lot of cost savings to us as an organization and to our citizens. So I just wanted to mention that that's the guiding document that we utilize when we go out to purchase goods, services, or equipment for the organization. Thank you.
I just felt like that this is a fairly major purchase. I want to be totally transparent with the public about how we're doing it. It's a little bit different. But I've been bragging to people that I really believe that Lewis and Clark County has the best financial operation of any county in the state, and maybe any local government in the state. And this is a tremendous example of how everybody on staff has worked together to do the most for the lowest possible price. And it's a little different than our normal purchasing price. I just wanted to be out there and open with everyone. And again, thank you to Jenny, to our finance team, to Mr. Balls, for thinking about the taxpayers and doing such a great job of long-term planning on expenses and saving money wherever we can. Does anybody else have a comment or a question about the product?
Mr. Chair, I think you summed it up well. Appreciate being here today, Jenny. Sorry about the short notice and that whole thing, but I just make a comment that this is not the first time we've done this process. It's made it at least the third time we've done it this way, and through evaluation and study over the years. We used to purchase our graders. When I first started, we purchased them and drove them until they were basically not very maintainable anymore. Purchase new ones. Now we do this regular buyback and rotation, and we've had a lot better in terms of our record of breakdown, servicing them, and really nice buyback prices that we get in terms of the trade-in value. It has become the best value, I believe, for our taxpayers. For getting service on our roads and streets. So thanks, Mr. Chair.
Any others?
When I looked at this, Jenny, sorry, when I'm looking at Exhibit A, one of the things that caught my eye was the value of the trade-in. Each one of these is right at $250,000. And so I was kind of startled to see that we've got these all lumped together, 6 items instead of going one at a time. But with your explanation, makes sense. But it did kind of catch my eye. I'm not like Tom here, but it's spend $1 million or $2 million, I guess. Oh, we also need to thank your employee, Dustin Knowles, who actually did this work. So didn't want to forget him.
All right.
That's all.
Any other questions? Thank you, and thanks for indulging me, commissioners, to try and make this really apparent to the general public what we're trying to do here. Is there any other, no further discussion from the commission? Is there any public comment on this new, item, on resolution 2026-7. Any public comment? There being none, can we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve resolution 2026-7 declaring county property surplus property as explained to us by Tenny Chambers.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Any further discussion? Just, again, I'd like to reiterate my thanks to the staff for a job well done, and thanks to everybody. I just want to make it very clear to the public what we're trying to do, what we're doing here, and how we're saving the money. There's no further comment. We'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving resolution 2026-7 declaring county property surplus property, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Next item on our agenda today is the board appointment.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, Connor Fitzpatrick, Lewis and Clark County Elections Division Supervisor. I bring before you today a board appointment for the Augusta Fire Service Area. There is a vacancy. Mr. Barrett, a trustee, has notified us that he resigned from the Augusta Fire Service Area Board of Trustees. One candidate, Mr. David John Langlois, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not, has filed for the vacant trustee seat. After confirming that Mr. Langlois is a registered voter and resident of the Augusta Fire Service Area, he is eligible to serve as a trustee, and his seat would be up at the next regular election this year in May 2026, where the position would be up as an unexpired one-year term. So because he meets the qualifications and is the only candidate to apply, Lewis and Clark County Elections Staff recommends appointment. Here for any questions you may have.
Any questions? My question. Any questions for the commission? Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? There being none, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we appoint David John Langlois, the pronunciation, as trustee for the Augusta Fire Service Area until the next regular election, May 2026.
Second.
Any discussion among the commission? Okay. Being none, we'll move to a vote. Is all those in favor of the board appointment as explained by Connor Fitzpatrick, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. We have arrived at the point in our meeting where we open the discussion to public comment on any public matter within the jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the above agenda. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? There being none, we're adjourned. Thank you again.